evening and welcome to this week's Mason Cable News broadcast. I'm Gabrielle Union.
And I'm Idris Elba.
Hey, April Fools.
April Fools.
I wish. Oh my goodness. We're glad to have you back. I'm Leandra Jones.
And
He's
I'm
Aaron Wilson.
Yep.
It is April 1st, 2015, and it's time for your Mason Cable News broadcast. April Fool's Day kicked off today. I don't know if you heard an April Fool's joke, but my brother thought it would be funny to tell my mother that his girlfriend had a bun in the oven.
Oh.
And I think he's tried it before, but every time he says it, I think she actually believes it. So. A fire extinguisher that works based on sound. You may remember a few short weeks ago, we interviewed two George Mason students and inventors about their amazing invention. Just a few short weeks later, the word of their invention plus a video has gone viral with their accomplishments. Nevertheless, we had it here first, so check it out.
We saw a science experiment called the Rubens tube, and basically it was an experiment where a guy took two speakers on the side and propane going through a tube, lit it, and you kind of saw when the music would play, you see the flames dancing around. So we kind of figured if sound does have an effect on the flame, what can we do to make it actually go out?
Yeah, so that's basically the concept. The Rubens tube was one of the first, like, oh wow, fire has a huge, it's really manipulated by sound waves, and you get to see, like, let's say you play a note, you get to see the whole wave just standing like that. If you look at the Rubens tube. And we also ran across what DARPA did. DARPA, they had these huge tubes, and they put a chemical and they lit it on fire. And then when we saw that it actually go out, we're like, wow, they have a lot of money and they did that, but that just goes to show that's possible. So that really inspired us, like, hey, look, this is possible. I asked him, I was like, do you think we should go with this? He's like, yeah. We originally were like a group of 5 people, but slowly, people were like, I'm not sure about this, I don't think it's gonna work, I don't want to fail this class. And then, and I guess we just stuck together. We've known each other since like fall 2010, and we just had this, chemistry built along the way, and we just like, let's just do it, let's just see what happens. And Professor Mark was one professor that was always there, like, really open-minded for us, and just like, yeah, just try it out, just if it fails, just make it a research project, and that just gave us the confidence we needed.
Yeah. I mean, the idea itself has been around since the late 1800s. The idea of sound putting out a fire, but no one's really put it into practical use. So we figured if the technology is going to happen, why not us be the two to make it happen?
George Mason's own equestrian club sent a rider to ride in the ISHA horse show. Now, this is an association. Now, the rider competed in the individual walk/trot/canter class against 10 other riders from colleges all over Maryland, D.C., Virginia, and North Carolina. Now, she finished with an honorable mention, but unfortunately did not qualify to continue on to the nationals. However, she paved the path for others to follow in the years to come. And now the team is one step closer to the nationals.
That's exciting.
I know, right?
Well, speaking of first, the polls here at George Mason University are heating up, just like the weather, to see who will win the election for student body president, vice president, and senate. The polls will close Friday, March 3rd at 5 p.m. Here are your candidates for student body president and vice president. First, we have Khushbu Bhatia and Alizadeh, Chandler Jenkins and Obum Igolum, Pete Klein and Jordan Wilson, Laura Freeman and Taylor Sprague. They've been campaigning viciously, and we wish them all the best of luck.
Now, in U.S. government-related news, as of last week, Republican Senator Ted Cruz has become the first candidate to announce his bid for the White House in 2016. Now, the senator announced his bid at Liberty University for a large body of students. Cruz drew widespread attention because of his stance on topics such as Obamacare, and Senator Cruz also wanted to be the first to announce his candidacy before any other potential candidates, such as Senator Marco Rubio from Florida and Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky. Now, one of Senator Cruz's aides said, quote, "We have some exciting things planned with this campaign, and we're going to do things on this campaign that don't necessarily follow the traditional quote-unquote DC way of doing them," end quote. However, even with Cruz's plans for his campaign, party strategists have suggested that Cruz's success will hinge on how he presents himself to the voters in the time the primaries will come.
Well, in other news, the U.S. Supreme Court is currently battling a serious case of freedom of speech versus racism. In Texas, the Sons of Confederate Veterans recently sued the DMV when their plate design was ruled against, which included the Confederate flag on it. The organization says the plate design honors the Civil War soldiers who fought for the Confederacy. However, many believe this flag would offend many Texans because it is a, quote, racially charged symbol of repression. A decision is expected by late June from the Supreme Court. What are your thoughts, Mason? We want to hear from you. Hit us up on Twitter, tweet at us, Mason Cable News. There's so much going on in the government and here on campus, the U.S. government, but as always, Mason Cable News keeps you posted. On a lighter note, everyone loves to shop. I love to shop, whether it's online or in the mall. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But I guess now you can even shop on Instagram. Local Nova resident and Mason student Brown Dixon has started his own thrift shop. We figured that out and we're shouting him out. So to learn more about his thrift shop, you can go onto Instagram and follow Thrift Lords. That's Thrift, Thrift, Lords, Lords, not the Lorde.
Well, I started Thrift Lords because, I'm a communications major, and I just wanted to find a way to be innovative and creative at the same time, to kind of build myself a career that down the line maybe could, have me living a happy life, doing something that I want to do. I always wanted to work for myself. That's pretty much the reason me and my partner started Thrift Lords. Well, I do have a business partner, Tovar Deki. I've known him since, middle school, elementary school even. We played on the same ball team in high school. And, he's my partner, man. Everything goes down the line 50-50. He does a lot of work and does a great job, communicating with the customers. And, he's not a bad partner to have. But first and foremost, it's based on love, man. It's positivity. What we do is, we sell thrift clothes, but more so we're trying to spread a message of camaraderie and peace and just being united as a people, not just blacks, whites, Asians, whoever. So pretty much we try to use our platform to share love and positivity and, some fly gear as well. So that's what we try to do. Clothes is unique because aside from sharing clothes that we think is cool or that we think customers will definitely buy, we incorporate art, music, culture, current events, things that are important to the young people who follow the page, things like that. And we do it in a way where it's, we know we're being appealing to a target audience. Our goal ultimately is to just help people share their art, the music, whether you paint or you make films, whatever you do, we want to share everybody's art, especially if it's quality art. And we just want to share love and peace, and positivity. I can't stress that enough because a lot of people say, oh, thrift lords, you guys sell, thrift clothes and things like that. But, I like to emphasize that it's more than just thrift clothes. It's the whole lifestyle, just being positive and living life in a way that's healthy. To purchase clothing, right now all you have to do, if you see something you like on the page, is go into the direct message, the DMs, and pretty much send us a picture. You can screenshot it, send us a picture of it, and with that, we want you to add your email. If you provide email, we can send an invoice from PayPal straight to your email account, and you'll be able to pay there. You don't have to have a PayPal per se to purchase because it's pretty much allows you to purchase as a guest. So just DM us your email if you see something you like. Let us know what you need, and we'll ship it out to you as soon as possible. You can find Thrift Lords on Instagram at ThriftLords.
I actually find that to be interesting, and now I can actually go to a thrift shop and buy some more ties because I have
We
only
were
5,
just
I
talking.
think.
His ties. We're gonna get his tie game up. So maybe we can go into Thrift Lords. He might have some ties. What about a bow tie?
I'm not crazy about bow ties.
I know.
I used to wear them when I was little. I would wear the clip-on ones, and that was about it, though.
That's it. Okay, we'll get regular ties then.
But now, Mason Pride for 2015 is in full swing as of last Tuesday, with events all week lining up to the annual Spring Drag Show. Now, Mason's LGBTQ Pride Week is a series of events that honor and affirm the visibility of Mason's lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, and questioning communities. Upcoming events such as Pride is Classy, an event to gather the provide information for those who are interested in studying women and gender studies, and Mason Unplugged with Mary Lambert, where musical artist Mary Lambert will perform at the Center for the Arts this Thursday, tomorrow, April 2nd. All these things leading up to the most popular event, the Spring Drag Show, on Friday, April 3rd. Now, if students are looking for more information about Mason Pride 2015, they are encouraged to stop by the LGBTQ office, which is located on the second floor of the school, or visit lgbtq.gmu.edu.
The CDC released a new anti-smoking advertisement this past week. The new anti-smoking ad will feature a 35-year-old woman from Tennessee named Christy. She was a smoker and tried to use e-cigarettes to help her quit smoking altogether. This is the first ad using a person who cites e-cigarettes, which have become increasingly popular nowadays. In the ad, she said, "I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both the electronic kind and my regular brand." After she started using e-cigarettes, Christy did not stop smoking tobacco cigarettes and went back to smoking regular cigarettes. Months afterwards, she ended up in the hospital with early signs of chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, or COPD, and a collapsed lung. According to the advertisement, it was after she was hospitalized that she decided to give up smoking altogether. This ad has actually stirred some controversy from advocates. According to the president of the American Vaping Association, Gregory Conley, this advertisement, quote, just continues the CDC's several-year quest to mislead smokers into believing that vapor products, including e-cigarettes, may be hazardous to the health of smokers, and that the use of vapor products somehow contributed to the disease suffered by the smoker in the advertisement. That's patently dishonest, end quote. The CDC director, Dr. Tom Frieden, released a statement saying that the ads can actually inspire people to quit smoking. This is really interesting because we have smokers on campus, and I don't know if they even prefer the term smoker. I don't know if that's offensive, but e-cigarettes have become really popular, so...
Yeah, I mean, like, I know, like, the whole e-cigarette thing, it's supposed to be kind of a thing leaning away from smoking, but, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a complicated situation almost, but we'll see how effective these ads are, because I remember actually seeing a ton of these ads on TV for a while, but I don't know if they actually help people or not.
Yeah, and we'll see how it all plays out, and we'll keep you updated. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break, but when we come back, Sydney Peterson will have our sports report.
You're listening live to Improv for Mason here on WGMU Radio, heard WGMUradio.com.
You know, it wasn't my idea.
Today's show with our special guest interview for this team in the new conference.
Welcome to a special edition
It's
of the
been a
First
great
Pick.
transition for me personally. I love Mason.
The very talented David Keckner.
I'm great. How are you doing?
Reed, Jonah, it was a pleasure having you on the show today.
Hey, good.
I'm Ben Simpson. On the phone today, we have Drew McGarry, successful author, writer. You're listening to WGMU Radio on WGMUradio.com.
Hey Mason Nation, and welcome to this week's MCN News Sports Report. I am your host, Sydney Peterson. Former Bucknell head coach Dave Paulson has been hired to become George Mason's head coach of the men's basketball team.
Coach, you have a lot of recruits that have already committed to George Mason for the upcoming season. What is going to be your approach to maybe trying to keep them here next year or having new recruits come in?
Well, the first thing is, I've already been in touch with one young man, and we're going to talk with him on the phone and we'll meet with him and sit and talk with him. And certainly, transitions are hard. Transitions are hard for the guys, the returning players who are sitting here, who, came to play for Coach Hewitt. Uncertain what's going to happen. Who's the new guy going to be? What's he going to be like? How do I fit in? I've got 3 daughters that are thinking the exact same thing. The transitions are hard. Certainly, you want to meet with them and say the coach was a factor in your decision to say you're going to come to George Mason. But there are a lot more other things involved in it. And the coach sold you on the school and the program and the support and the resources and the vision to hang banners in the Patriot Center, and we're going to do the same things. At the end of the day, we're only going to be good if everyone buys in. So we want people to want to be here. We're going to try to re-recruit the people who want to be at George Mason. But there's a lot of good players out there, and we're going to find those guys who fit with our vision and want to be a part of something really special.
Paulson compiled a 124-92 record while he was at Bucknell. He was a 2-time Patriot League Coach of the Year and also led the Bison to 2 NCAA appearances in both 2011 and 2013. Paulson will replace former head coach Paul Hewitt, who had a record of 66-67 in 4 seasons here at George Mason. This weekend, George Mason's men's baseball team will be on the road for a 3-game series against the Fordham Rams. The Patriots currently have a record of 10-14 and are 9th in the Atlantic 10 standings. Their next home game will be on Tuesday, April 7th against Mount St. Mary's at 3 p.m. The men's volleyball team has 2 home games this weekend against St. Francis and number 7 ranked Penn State. So make sure you come out and support the Patriots as they attempt to knock off one of the top teams in the nation. So far, Paco Velez has led the team with 181 kills and 38 service aces. However, he has been followed very closely by Radislav Popov and Jack Wilson with 166 and 159 kills, respectively. Last week, the women's lacrosse team defeated St. Joe's 14-12 and unfortunately lost to UMass 7-17. Bringing their overall record to 6-4. Alexa McGovern and Caitlin McGinn led the charge for the Patriots and their victory over St. Joe's, scoring 4 goals each. The Patriots' next game is at home this Friday against LaSalle. Well, that wraps up today's sports report, but next we will have Najina Jerome with our infotainment news.
Hello Mason Nation, and welcome to On the Couch with Gina Jerome. Get ready because the George Mason School of Theater and the Mason Players will present an experiment with an air pump, a play by Shalak Stevenson and directed by Mary Lecter. Performances are March 26th through March 28th at 8 p.m., March 28th and March 29th at 2 p.m., and April 2nd through April 4th at 8 p.m. and April 4th at 2 p.m.
how about that circus you were telling me about earlier?
Yes, the circus is coming here to Mason, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, the circus is coming to Mason. We keep saying it. I think it's because I don't believe it, but I guess I should, because each year my friend, she's always talking about going to the circus for her birthday.
Okay.
Her 21st birthday, she wanted to go to the circus.
I have to say, I think the circus is a good thing to go to at any age. I remember my first circus I ever went to, I was able to ride the elephant, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and it's still to this day one of my favorite memories.
I'm not even gonna lie, I haven't been to the circus in years, actually. Like, I don't know if I've outgrown the circus or if I'm just not too crazy about it. I don't know. Like, my younger cousins, they have gone to the circus, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know if I've outgrown it.
I'm just not a clown person.
I was going to say, if you have a fear of clowns.
I'm not a clown person. And then I also get anxiety because I'll see the woman walking on the tightrope and no one is perfect. And I know she can fall. And that just gets me a little nervous.
I mean, but I think they've been doing this, the tightroping thing, that is. They've been doing that for some
years.
time.
There's a certain, like, professional development they have to have.
I mean,
a lot of training.
I mean, have you ever seen the guy walk tightrope across the Niagara Falls? It was on the news. I remember this was on the...
no rope, no anything. He didn't have anything to hold him up.
He had his balance. He had that long balancing stick.
The balancing stick.
Yep, and...
You must not have a fear of heights.
I could not tightrope across Niagara Falls. Like, even if you paid me $1 million, I'd probably fall right off.
Well, in addition to the circus being exciting and giving some people anxiety, it also causes parking jams, which is something... I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, but... You know, it's going to be a little crammed on the roads here in Mason, so...
So the circus is this weekend, or...?
I think it goes throughout the month of April.
Yeah, it's not
like
just one weekend.
A bunch, like, it's every weekend.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is fine, because I guess during the weekend, usually the weekend starts for college students on Friday, so maybe...
So there's a weekend for college students and the general public?
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Well, depending on the weekend, I may try and go. I'll see what happens.
See what we can do.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be it for us today, but make sure you follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook at Mason Cable News. Actually, we're not coming back. This is it for us. Aaron and I are done. That's it.
But you can
We'll see you later in life.
Yeah, I guess.
April Fools! It never gets old. But yeah, you can definitely follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Mason Cable News. Watch past episodes and other Mason Cable News shows on our YouTube channel at Mason Cable Network. And you can also watch us on Channel 231 if you're in your dorm room. That's it for us this week, and we'll be back next week. I'm Leandra Jones.
I'm Sydney Peterson.
And I'm Aaron M. Wilson.
See you, Mason.
Bye.
Bye.
Toodles.